Hey folks, I'm in the bug. Check it out. Check it out. Got some sweet seats in here. Yep, the 8-ball shifter. Look at that bad boy. Glove box is busted, but this is our beauty. You know, a little bit of play. I mean, that's normal, right? That's normal. So good old 4-speed. You know, it's a sweet ride. Anyway, we're working on it again. We got more parts. We're gonna hopefully, we've got more parts. Here we go. Let's get it fired up. We're going to remove a lot of this. So the airbox, these tubes, because we need to replace these spark plug wires, and they kind of are fed back there more behind here for this side. We're replacing these wires. We're gonna replace the distributor as well. And then we got a new coil. So let's hope this gives us the spark that we need. Before, it did not fire. On the last video, you could hear it turn over, but it wasn't firing. So I'm hoping this, you know, gives it the fire that we need so it'll actually turn over and run. So that's our next steps here. Here we go. There you go. Yep, twist it, pull it out. There you go, yep. There you go. Good job. Get the coil out. Yes! All right, we've got the spark plug wires all set. I think they're good to go. Now we've got to go through some parts. We did get a distributor and a coil, like I said. We got it from J Bugs again, but they didn't give us a sticker this time, unfortunately. But we've got a few things here to be able to get it back together. So here we go. distributor in, got the coil in, fuel line hooked back up. We just got to get that bad boy in the air box, and I think we're gonna be able to turn it over here in a couple minutes. I've been reading a lot about the fuel pump on these bad boys right here and how they pump out too much fuel. So it sounds like 5 to 6 PSI is what it's pumping out normally. And I haven't put a gauge on it because it's not working, but what I do want to do is add some more gasket to the pump underneath it, really, to help. You know, there's a push rod in here that affects how much pressure this thing pumps out. And they say to add more space here, right? Make this go up a little bit. So that way this rod, which I'll show you in a bit, goes down in there. You know, it's not going as high, or it's not affecting the pump as much, or, you know, pushing on the lever as much. So we're gonna add some gasket into there. I'm just gonna make one. And then I've got some gasket, you know, a sheet of it that we can just cut out a piece. So I'll do that, and then I'm also going to grind down or, you know, really shorten that rod that's in here. And hopefully that, once we test it, you know, it helps. So, of course, I'm going in blind, which I maybe shouldn't, but hey, that's fine. From everything it sounds, they don't make pumps that are dialed in exactly for these Volkswagens. You've got to, you know, screw around with it a little bit. So we're going to see, just assuming we need to, you know, add some gasket, shorten that rod. I'm hoping that helps with, you know, getting this puppy running. We did get the plug wires and the, you know, all the new pieces and parts that we got, but I do want, I don't want this pump, you know, destroying the carb or, you know, affecting it, which I know it is. So once we get that, we're hoping to get it, you know, completely fired up. And I know I've been saying that a lot lately. I think this is actually the time when it happens. Okay, so the way this pump works, I guess it'd be in there like that. But this little push rod here pushes on the bottom of that. Let's see if it'll focus. Bottom there kind of pushes up against it. Right? Well, if it goes too far, it's obviously pumping too much, so we need to shorten the distance. And they were saying to add gaskets. They, being the interwebs, said to add gaskets to the bottom here to add space to the bottom here, so that way it tightens that up. So it's not so, you know, pumping so hard. Again, because apparently these pump much or twice as much as they're supposed to or need to. So I've got this bad boy here. What does it say? Remove it, but performance gasket material. Looks like a tile. Anyway, I'm going to, these are the gaskets. I'm just gonna go ahead and, you know, make my own. And hopefully this thickness here gives us a little, you know, all that we need, because I don't want to grind the top of this guy at all. So I'm gonna actually try to just use the gasket to start, and then we'll hopefully get it running, then I'll throw on the, you know, meter to see, or the gauge, I should say, meter, whatever. Put on the gauge to see what actual, you know, pressure is on the fuel pump. So we're gonna at least get this gasket on there to give it a little less of a push rod, and then, I don't know, we'll test it and hope that works. Also, I noticed that when we hooked up the fuel line, it was like crazy strong. The fuel coming out of line as I was trying to get it on there. And so I was, you know, thinking it's gonna just flood the carburetor if it keeps gushing like that. So I noticed my locking cap here, hopefully you can hear it, but tons of pressure in there. So I've got to do something about that as well before we fire it up, because I'm afraid it's just gonna, you know, pump it full of fuel, too much anyway. And we don't want that. We don't want any fuel spilling on the back of this Beetle, because that's bad news. So more to come. All right, got her traced out. We're going to cut it now. Hopefully make it look similar to that without butchering it too bad. So wish me luck. I think I did it. All right, we've got a couple of gaskets. We're gonna stack them. I'll probably put that one first. You'll see a little better. I kind of gouged that a little bit, a little crazy, but it worked. Just took a little chunk out, and it should give us the thickness that we need, so I think it'll work. All right, before we were getting a ton of pressure in this thing, so what I did was made a few breather holes. So I've tested it out, and it actually worked. It's keeping it from building any pressure in the tank, which is nice. And I was looking in here, I've got it pretty much all the vapor coming into that. So that was definitely causing us problems. And then back here, we did add the gasket, made it a little thicker. So hopefully that regulates the fuel pressure a little better. And then we've just got all the wiring and everything hooked up. So we're gonna hopefully have a running Volkswagen. Hey, go back a little more that way. Come on, Dorothy. Yeah, there you go. Okay, ready?
Yes.
Cooper, you ready, Mama?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me help you. Yeah! 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 High five! Listen to her. Is she mean? Yeah! Yeah! Mama gets a parking spot back. Listen to her. Let's go. Yeah. Oh. Woo!
It's running, boys and girls. Yes! Awesome.
Yeah.
We did it.
Yeah.
We did it.
Yeah.
High five. High five. Oh, man. The bug is running, finally fired up.